Hello everyone, this is ScherBR talking. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be doing Rally for the Creators game Conquest guide. Yes, I want to explain everything that you can do in this Conquest mode. Conquest is long gone and I know that many people haven't played this yet, so we can probably explain how it works and what you can get out of this. Well, Conquest is a mode where everyone needs to help each other to progress. Let's click here in co-op. That's the only mode that we can do because there's no solo play in this Conquest. Usually there's no solo play, so everyone just helps each other. When this Conquest starts, we start from the entry point, that is this one here, and then the game will give you one new node to fight, and then after that it just opens new areas. To clear a node, you get the progress to 100. So everyone that participates in the fight in the node will, well, just give you more points. When we get to 100, I think, 100,000, it will give you a clear. You get this cleared and then you unlock the next one. So the enemies are usually the same in this Conquest. In some others it was different, like fighting enemies around the forest areas will have different enemies, and fighting enemies in mountain areas will have different enemies as well. But in this game right now, the Conquest is special for SaGa Collection, so it's always spread out, at least right now. So it doesn't really matter the stage that you're fighting, but what matters is the size of the node. The small size node has weakest enemies, but they come in group. If you fight in the middle node, you will fight large enemies. They come alone, so you need single target nuke, different than the small nodes that you need AoE. And then the largest node of them all, you will face a mini boss. This mini boss comes in every new reset, and we'll be talking about that because this is the last progress we have right now on day 1, and it's kind of like 1/5 of the progress. When we get to the end of this, we get 5,000 geos, but we also get a lot of geos just by completing. When you finish a single time by yourself, you will get first completion reward, that is some gems, and then you get more when everyone clears by conquest reward. So that's nice. That's why everyone needs to help each other. All servers count as a progress here. So what we need to understand is that every new day you unlock new paths and also more styles to get featured bonus. Right from the start, we only have to face the turtle, and the Pierce type characters will just get in status increase here. Let's get a look on all of this. Well, also there is something very special about Conquest, that when a node is still not cleared, that means that it's not on 100% progress. Everyone gets a special drop called bonus IC ship. This disappears once the node is 100%. They do this because they want people to help each other and not just lag and wait for everyone to complete. So if you miss this item right now, you can get it later when the Conquest is over, because when we finish the last progress, and well, you have to face Creator. Creator will drop it as well while we are clearing it, but when we finished 100% the node, it will start dropping in all nodes, even nodes without bosses, so everyone is able to get the currency, but right now only the ones that are helping will get it. And this item is important because it gives you like one of the best things to get in the shop. We'll talk about the shop later, and then after that we will see. So here is explaining what you can get by just participating. That is cool. Collect the items for the shop, and the more people defeat and the more the progress, we get more rewards based on total damage. That's also pretty nice because this is based on the raid. We need to do at least 600,000. The total damage in battle will show us total damage. So if we do that much, we get more rewards in raid, but that is only when we get to face Creator. That is still not now, it's only on the end. And also, okay, we see here the combos. Well, we don't need that. 9 million. We will not get this much value also because it's not that good to farm the boss stages, since they can be a little too lengthy. And then, okay, when we reach the end, we'll get 5,000 gems. Okay, also, we need to discuss that, like I said, many of the enemies from SaGa Collection will appear on this Conquest mode, and they are plenty. There's many of them with different weaknesses, and it's not easy to predict what type of enemy you'll be facing on a node, so you have to think about bringing characters with dual elements if you can, and that will help you clear more efficiently and also bring trainees. I can bring 2 trainees all the time, or I can just bring my strongest dual elemental attackers to farm their status first and then just slowly change upon that. As you can see, we get this Pierce status gains, triple status gains because of the first boss, then the second one will give us for Slash, and then for Blunt, then Cold and Dark. I don't see Lightning, Sun, and Heat here, so I think they will not be present. But at least the 3 physical damage types will be here, Cold and Moon as well. Remember that if a character has at least 1 skill with this type of element, it's also chosen. Okay, now we will talk about how you farm this. After we already finished the first day, new days will appear, and every new day will have, I think, 1/5 of the progress. When we get to the final raid, it will have 100%, but that will be only on day 5. I do believe that farming the smaller nodes are the best way to farm right now, because in the smaller nodes, you can just bring many different types of strategies. Since they are not bosses, they are just in groups, you can just bring AoE. There are many types of AoE that works here, but I'll be showing you what I bring. And like here, let's explain. Usually Rainbow Rangers is the most diverse formation in the game because you can bring characters from all different types. And I do believe that the first 3 slots from Rainbow Rangers is the best thing to, well, bring your best attackers. Look, like I said, bring multiple elemental damage dealers. Madeline has Lightning and Slash, so she will be hitting for more weaknesses. There is also Dark here. He's also bringing Firecracker from his freestyle. This attack here is pretty good because it's Heat and Pierce. I don't know why, but I see a lot of Heat weaknesses enemies in this Conquest, more than anything else from physical. And there's also Bart. Bart has double elements with his opening, so Heat and Moon. And after that, he has at least a Sheep AoE. All these 3 characters have an opener that's stronger than a weaker version of their AoEs. Not all styles will have this, so that's why I chose those 3. Some fast attackers like Silver, like Mac, open with strong attacks, but then on the second wave they have nothing to use, so they may not be as helpful. This is one of the best ways to farm without bringing fast attackers. Fast attackers are usually the meta, but I do believe that in Conquest, this time around, it may seem more interesting to bring normal farmers. That's also interesting since Creator and also Wagner's characters that work very similarly, work very well here. So now we are on the forest stage, the ones on the top. Usually we find enemies weak to Heat here, but not just Heat. It's a mess. There are enemies weak to any type of things. So, 5 enemies this time. Sadly, we used Firecracker against only 1 enemy. That's why we bring so many elemental coverage to decrease the chances of not hitting their weaknesses. It may just take too much time. But if you bring 3 characters at least that are current levels for status, they will be able to kill, and you can bring 2 trainees just fine. One variation of this is to bring Wagner. Like I said, he also works super fine here because he can just inherit Psycho Shot, because right now I'm using him on STR position, so I want to use a physical skill, and he can also use Blue Fire Fang right after. Blue Fire Fang is at least Pierce and Heat. There is Fuse. Fuse, if you are bringing him, you can bring Submachine Gun as Inheritance. It works better unless you want to bring Commando Emilia. If he attacks on turn 1, he uses Machine Gun, and then on turn 2 as well. If he does not attack on turn 1, he has Air Support on turn 2, and that is very, very powerful. And the other character is Rock Bouquet. She can, well, be used here to level up the skills if you haven't. I increased Psycho Boom to 12. Actually 13, sorry, so that she uses Blooming Fireworks first, and I'm inheriting Dark Pulse with her Protector style. You can also use her other styles, just think about bringing the AoEs that have double elements. Dark Pulse is only 3, so that's easily to use, and then there's 2 trainees here as well. Well, as you can see again, we find many enemies that are probably weak to Heat. Some of them may also be weak to Blunt or other stuff. It's a mess. Funny that his enemy didn't die easily. And the last wave, well, another mess, but many here are weak to double elements. We are back, and this time we found 2 swords, 1 sand enemy and 1 toad. Let's see if we will need fuse to attack. We probably will. The sand enemy didn't die easily. Last wave. To guarantee that you will never need an extra turn, just bring our trainees equipment. Here I'm just bringing trash just to prove that it works. And this is the last method. Before I say this strategy, let me tell you that Joe plus Genryu is probably awesome here as well. It's just don't have Genryu. Without Genryu, my Joe is not that interesting since she will never hit for multiple targets on the second wave. And you could also use even Aunas, like I was saying, if you're using Aunas, Genryu, and Joe together, they probably work pretty fine. So the last strategy I'm using Galahad. Galahad at least has a fast attack that's super strong on last turn, and then he also opens with AoE. Global exclusive Emilia should also work, but I'm using Lethal Commando. She even has double element, this one does not. And then I'm using Princess White Rose, she's only Sun. You can just bring also mages, but sometimes they just too squishy, they may not be the fastest characters, you will need Animal String. But here, the same thing, we can bring 2 trainees, and it also works well. This time I'll be showing you the enemies on the mountain areas that can be slightly different. We'll see. Okay, so as you can see, we're already seeing different enemies here. Galahad didn't even need to attack. The mountain area seems to have less amount of enemies with higher HP, but here I don't know. They are large enemies from Saga Collection. But it's still okay to just bring this, or a variation of this. You should be able to kill them off. And now that it's done, we need to talk about the middle node. This one that I said has larger enemies, and they are very strong, a lot of HP, and I must say something very important here. We have 2 middle nodes right now, and this one here, we have enemies resistant to instant kill right from the start. You have a skeleton and a snake that will appear on the first wave, it's almost a guarantee, and they will resist instant kill strategies. We use it to farm Conquest in the middle nodes to just get a good chance to instant kill targets, so it will be a very fast farming strategy, but right now we don't have this. Maybe in future nodes we have enemies that are not resistant to instant kill, but right now this one is the worst one if you want to use instant kill. If you want to use single target nukes, you can even try this one. I will show you something that I'm doing here that has also an attempt to instant kill, and that is bringing my Darky. Darky has an attack that has a good chance to instant kill, that is medium with Stinger, and even if he does not instant kill, he does very good damage, even when not used in a dex position. So what I bring is the Sigmoid position, and this formation here is used to increase the chance of instant kill because I have Mayor in the back. I'm also training my Polka here in the last row. There is also Bune here, the newest Bune. I'm training her Gale Darts, so that she helps damage when we're not able to instant kill. And in the front, I think that it's good to have someone with delay like Mirza or Noah or some others, because it means that Dark is always going first. You can also try Animal String formation, but it's harder to justify and also to, well, compare the agility from your characters. Here at least you have a better way to understand who will go first and who will go last. If the enemy is not immune to instant kill, Dark will go first. If you don't have Dark, you can use Award Claudia, the one with the green clothes, and use Assassin Zero. You can also use Albert. Albert will also have good rates. Mayor is important here because he debuffs agility, debuffs will by 20%. There's only one enemy, so it will always debuff 20%, increasing your chances to instant kill with only 25% intelligence. Remember, Sigmoid only increase 25, Animal String can increase up to 50, but there's more RNG with turn order there. So let's check what happens. Okay, so here we do have chances to instant kill right the first enemy. In the other one that I said, there's the skeleton, the snake, they are either immune or very resistant. So this can work because he can just kill the 2 targets. It's not always. This enemy is also not resistant or immune to insta kill, so Dark helps a lot. But it can also be other characters, like I said. It can be Albert, or it can be Ward Claudia, because they have 6 VP cyclings. There is also Diana that may work here, although you will need a perfect one. And also Selma and the newest version of Jamie from Tower. So again, this enemy is able to be instant killed, but it is not something that will happen all the time. But you still have a chance, and if he does not kill, my other characters will kill the enemy. There's Mirza with high power, there is Building with double hit, Polka with a very strong nuke, and even the Mayor can help sometimes. But that's about it. And now for the last thing, what we have is the larger node. This one has a boss, and this time we will be using a strategy to kill the boss with 4 characters. You can only bring 1 trainee, but if you are training your 4 pierce damage dealers, this may work. Let's enter and I will explain. Here, if you want to use this place as a training, your characters need to be already close to max and you're just farming just a little extra. Because I am bringing Global Exclusive Monica that increases pierce damage, Dark, that's a very powerful attacker, also Jamie, very powerful, and also UDX Claudia. They are like the best pierce units in the game. And still I get very close to not killing this boss in 1 turn. This time will be very easy because we did a combo, but it's just very close to not doing it. I can bring 1 trainee that can do damage, but it decreases the agility, so sometimes the boss will attack before you. It was pretty fast, but then this character will get just well trained and you don't need to do this anymore. So that's why I say it's not so worth to farm here. One other alternative is to remove one of your pierce damage dealers and include a new trainee. You can even bring someone that has hybrid damage like Asalos, that she has Flash Triple Thrust. Although I'm not equipping any of the 2 trainees, so I can prove to you that it works even if you are bringing weak trash units. But you will need 2 turns here. What I did was to, instead of using Kaleidoscope with my Dark, I'm using Stinger, so he uses that on turn 1 and on turn 2. Jamie is better than Claudia here because his turn 2 damage is better, he's also buffing himself. Global Exclusive Monica is in the front, but you can use Hannibal, you can use the newest version of Monica, and use Therese. They will all work fine here. Even you can bring someone like Ferdinand, which will also work pretty fine. It's also worth to note that boss nodes will have 10 more points in the cap, 10 more points for HP or 1 more point for normal status. I'll be giving the caps here in the description of the video as well. Every large node that we get in the future, with every new reset, we'll add a new boss that will be weak to 1 specific element, so you can also train the future ones. But at least you get the idea how you should be doing this. So that's it, guys. I think this ends here. Thank you so much by watching this video. If you want to support the channel, there are links here in the description. Don't forget to click the like button, it really helps. And I think I see you again in the next video or next live stream. Bye.